What is going on, my people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Naseem the Dream. If you're new to the channel, go on and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell as well to always keep notified on my newest content. And today I'm going to be doing another OG list review. This review being to the one and only Panic at the Disco's A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. One of the original emo pop rock bands coming out of Las Vegas, Nevada, signed by Fueled by Ramen, Panic at the Disco was one of the first bands to be part of this new wave into rock. Originally, the band was consisted of 4 members into the group and then eventually progressed into a solo work. The band progressed into some changes into their sound over the years, thus resulting in some of the original members leaving, with the remainders of Spencer Smith and lead vocalist Brandon Urie. The band debuts in 2005, making a huge impact to the emo genre that has preceded their reputation with 5 more LPs after this, the last 2 being considered solo works. The band particularly engineers this LP as like an old-fashioned radio being tuned channel by the listener, which is an imagery I tremendously adore in company with these wonderful pop ballads conducted on this record. As we tune the dial after the introduction of this LP, we then find the second place track on the record. The only difference between Martyrdom and Suicide is press coverage. And yeah, a lot of the names on these tracks are a mouthful, but they do have their inspirations and there's a reason why they're named to these particular titles. Dear God, what a thrill of excitement to kick off a record. Love how the band sets the mix on this kick-ass chorus. Brandon is eating this up. Easily one of the best falsetto singers of all time. And then the band keeps the momentum flowing with the following track, London Beckoning, songs about money written by machines. I like the takes of them sharing their stories of turning into fame and reacting to the media and fans when all this is in phase in their popularity switch. The emo flamboyant styles lyrically can be a bit difficult to decode, but conceptually there's plenty of tracks on here that address significant themes. Like on the song Nails for Breakfast, Tax for Snacks, the band goes about discussing a topic of drug addiction with either a specific individual or in general. Over the years, Brandon has shared that he has had some close friends with some drug addictions, so I can only imagine that maybe this might be somebody that might be close to them that he's speaking about. I'm not too sure though. Then on the track Kamasoda, where they finally give the next scene of this narrative with the individual falling into a relapse. By the time we get to Time to Dance, I can hardly even control myself. The band is fuming with the aesthetics all across the board into this record. Instrumentation just keeps the pace, giving Urie hell of a song structure of these murderous, beautiful melodics in the song. In particular, holds one of the most infectious sing-alongs on the entire LP. Urie owns the title of King of Falsettos in modern pop, with his best demonstrations being showcased on every single track on here. I just really love how quirky he goes about singing these melodies. I mean, every time the variation always changes up and the excitement never diminishes. Boys will be boys, baby! Boys will be boys! Let it be known that some of the songs were actually inspired by the film Closer, starring Natalie Portman. As she reads the line, lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off, but it's better if you do. With this 7-track Lying is the most fun, the narrative actually discusses when it comes to cheating in a relationship. Getting into the intermission, the boys play off this ballroom break of a piano balladry that I find to be so colorful in the way they progress and evolve in the song transitions. It can even feel a bit tense when it comes to those dark string lines at the very tail end of the track. I think what I really adore and admire from this intermission, I really can't believe that Brandon is already killing it and becoming one of the most inspirational vocalists in this rock genre, but I also appreciate that the band wanted to give more attention to the instrumentation. And on top of that, in their early days when performing this album live, I think it really added some more flavor and spark into their live performance. Right after this intermission follows the track But It's Better If You Do, which follows a narrative of loneliness demonstrated when this individual is at a strip club, knowing that if they aren't there that they really feel like they can't ever really be in love, and then leads in a smooth, seamless, impactful transition into the great triple platinum I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. Easily the most popular track from Panic at the Disco, but with great reason. It's killer track. The singing from Brandon is just so compassionate about this unfaithful bride with a riveting beat and an immense production scheme. Still marks as some of the greatest melodics and greatest hooks and great songwriting from Panic at the Disco. If you didn't know this hook by heart, did you really fall in an emo phase? Oh, Well, imagine as I pace in the pews of a church corridor and I can't help but to hear. After I Write Sins Not Tragedies, thoughts of hypocrisy of these individuals when it comes to their ideals in religion come into play, and other thoughts relating to religion. I constantly thank God for Esteban. More goes into these concepts when the band exposes the hypocrisy of people rather than their religious intuitions. And then with the outro track, Build God and Then We'll Talk, more unsettling aspects of cheating go into play and letting prostitution give like this illusion of love. When it comes to the history of the genre and when it comes to the history of emo phases in music, this is one of the original bands to really pop off with something so pure in talent and something so fresh and new, a little bit more far off and different from you hear from the genre. More so bands that were kind of more popular were kind of more integrated with emo metal, emo hard rock, kind of more of like the screamo phase, if you will. This is a style that wanted to transition it with a certain pop influence that had, I guess, a color filter to it, that it goes kind of off the rails and goes a little bit opposite from the original persona of what emos would typically be spotted in their setting wise. This more so stays ideal with the same emo aesthetics that I think gives the band so much more character and the genre itself a lot more character. As I did find everything else when it comes to the instrumentation, the songwriting, and the production to be pretty much flawless for its reasons, and everything when it comes to the song structures and placements on here, what really makes this band super unique, super impactful, super compassionate, and super influential is Brendon Urie. Easily one of the best vocalists of all time. Have you heard him live? He's fucking insane. I've never heard a man sing falsettos in such high pitch. Like crazy high pitch. Yes, of course, I don't really think that your vocal range really decides if you're a great singer or not, but when used for the greater good and for the best tasteful qualities in your music, Brendon is a king. Every track just flares off with this beautiful, colorful taste. Doesn't really go off the same by phase melodically. He always makes every passage, every switch up when it comes to the song passages on here super unique, super creative, so much variety, and just so many jaw-dropping moments as you progress deeper into it, and you just can't believe how good he is. And that is exactly why I'm making Panic at the Disco's A Fever You Can't Sweat Out one of the OGs. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, go ahead, hit the like and share button, and also subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Down in the description, you'll see links to more videos and links to my social media accounts so you can keep up with me on the daily. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Deuces.